Hello everyone, and I'm back again tonight. This time I'm playing a game that, while I spent a lot of my childhood playing this and I have a lot of core childhood memories, one thing I don't remember is being flashbanged as much as I as I currently have been playing it. But if the title wasn't obvious, if the loading screen wasn't obvious, it's Colin Mcrae Rally 3, and wanted to go through just some of the intro stages for the Australia map, because I do have very vivid memories of driving through there, and as I recorded footage for this, the memories all came flooding back. Like, I clearly played this game a lot growing up, and the thing that I found really impressive was that the game has really solid out-of-the-box controls. But, well, I say that, the repack, because let's be real here, trying to install this game on a Windows 11 or Windows 10 PC in 2026 is going to be very difficult. So you do need to go through other means to get it done. But when all those other means and patches and all that are applied and whatnot, the game is very much playable out of the box. You don't have to do a lot of tweaking. In fact, this game looks pretty good as it is, and I didn't have to improve the visuals really meaningfully. I mean, there were options I could have done to improve it, but I thought this game looked good enough as it was, and it looked about as good as I remembered it being, really. I mean, the PC that I played it on growing up, you know, wasn't a very powerful one. I remember it was a 4x3 CRT monitor, and I remember the old Logitech wheel that we had. It was a yellow Logitech wheel as well. And I said, God, wow, we still had that thing until I think like 2014 or 2015, and then my mum or dad, or either one of them two, just decided it's not working anymore, we're just going to throw it out. And I wish we didn't, because it would have been really cool to just bring out that really simple old racing wheel and just go at it again. But if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the Australian stages are based around Western Australia, going by some of the buildings and some of the road styles, but just by how more like orange or red the gravel is compared to, like, say, I mean, it could be New South Wales, it could be country New South Wales for all I know, but I just vividly remember reading somewhere or seeing somewhere that it was like in Perth or something. It might be like the special stage loading screen. I didn't get that far, but I'm presuming that may have something to do with it. But regardless, like, yeah, the memories just all came flooding back, and just how easy this game was to pick up and play on a controller. It's a very arcadey game, and it looks very basic from the recording footage, but damn, it was this fun. I'm gonna go back after I finish recording this. I'm just gonna play more of it, because it is such a fun pick up and play game. And yeah, the visuals, it's a 20-plus-year-old game, but I mean, honestly, did we really need to progress further beyond this? I mean, yeah, maybe to an extent, but I mean, my childhood games like this and Battlefield 2 and among other many games that I played growing up, just, it's taking me back to a far simpler time, and it's a time that I've needed. I mean, going back through my YouTube channel for the last couple of months, it's been a lot of fun doing the videos that I have, and life's been thankfully very good to me these last couple of weeks, but these last couple of days have also been pretty heavy, pretty depressing, and I'm a bit worried that the fears that I sort of enveloped myself in months back, which ultimately led me to restarting this channel, have kind of come back to an extent, and I'm not quite sure how to cope with that. And so I guess coming back to this and coming back to playing the games that I grew up and had such wonder for, and, you know, it was always an adventure going into these things, might help revive a bit of purpose, might be enough to bring about direction in me in life, because not much else is doing that at the moment. And I mean, I say I've been very lucky to be surrounded by a lot of very close friends and family who are, you know, who love me, and I love them very much, but it's been very heavy, and it's still a lot to go through, and still a lot to work on. I think I'm also extra depressed because winter's coming to a close in the next couple of weeks, and I do love winter. I'm not a fan of climate change like most people, so I just, you know, I like winter, so I'm just like, I like things when cold, and it turns out I live in one of the worst countries for cold weather, which is Australia, but hey, you know, I can still enjoy these games, and I can always come back to these whenever I want, and I'm glad that this game is still very playable on modern PCs, because, yeah, wouldn't have been able to record that. I'm surprised I didn't do a video on this game years ago, because I know in 2019 I was doing a lot of old games that I used to play growing up, and clearly I missed a lot more, because there's still quite a few other games that I never really got around to. But yeah, going back to the stage layouts, it's like I remember them yesterday. I mean, I haven't played this game in well over 15 years, I think. Probably a bit more than that. I mean, 15 years is going back to 2011, which is scary, because I very vividly remember a lot of that year. But, you know, time marches on. And I didn't play this game then. It had to have been like, 2006 or 2007 would have been the last time I played this game, which would have, bloody hell, that's nearly 20 years ago. But yeah, the fact that I've still got so many core memories, and like, driving on this stage, or these stages, these Australian stages is like one of them, and driving on the special stage as well, while my dad was watching, and I was racing on the racing wheel, and having these these aspirations of becoming a racing driver and all that sort of thing. The things you dream of as kids. And then I remember one other memory of driving the MGZS down, I think it was the first English stage or the first UK stage, and it was raining. And I did later on in the video actually go back through that stage again if I remembered it, and obviously I'll come to that when it's relevant, because I don't want to just jump the gun too quickly and have nothing to say by the end of the video. But the memories are there. But I remember that version of that track being rainy and wet, and the car getting a lot more mud on it a lot quicker than I remember. I mean, I guess it's your childhood imagination or your childhood memories, maybe obfuscating a few things. The game looks more realistic back then than it does now. But I remember, and it still holds up pretty well, but this game has a pretty solid attention to detail, even 20 plus years on, and it makes me want to try out Colin Mcrae Rally 04, because my only memory of that game was we tried to get it working on the same racing wheel. We didn't patch the game at all because we didn't realize like patches for those sort of things were like a thing, and the racing wheel dead zones were bugging out on us and we couldn't get the game working, so we just uninstalled it and just left it as it was. So I do plan to get back into that game and finally give it the justice it deserves, because for all intents and purposes, Colin Mcrae Rally 04 is seemingly the better game. Not to say that this game is not any good, but it seems to be that Colin Mcrae 04 seems to be a more complete game and a lot more fun to play. And I'd love to see how it plays on a controller, because this game, I mean, kind of in a weird way, while I was racing on these stages, I was thinking of Drive Rally, the video that I did about 3 weeks ago, and how that actually felt really similar to this in hindsight. It's kind of funny how like that, I didn't even think that that game would have taken inspiration from this, but like it very clearly does, and that's not to the detriment of either game. Drive Rally I thought was just fine, but this game is a lot smaller of scale and focus. It's so much easier to just pick up and play, and I don't know, it just takes me back to simpler times, and for that, I just prefer Colin Mcrae Rally 03. But I will say I did eventually end up completing the achievements for Drive Rally. That was pretty fun to complete. It scratched my rally racing arcade itch for a little bit until I realised I had this installed on my PC, and that's where we are at tonight. I decided to play Colin Mcrae Rally 3. There we go, I've managed to somehow go straight back to the beginning of what I was saying in the video in about 7 and a bit minutes. I'm pretty good at doing that these days. I haven't really had much in terms of motivation for content or anything like that. I've been kind of trudging my way through the Halo Campaign Evolved game. If that wasn't obvious that that wasn't a game. And life has been getting in the way. Work's been a lot more busier. There's been some very positive family things that have been happening, and that's just taken up a lot of my time. So that's just simply why I haven't done any videos, for maybe the handful of people who are wondering. And as for Battlefield content, well, I'll get back to that at some point. I'm just a bit burnt out on that game. But here's the UK stage, and I wanted to change the car up because while the Ford Focus is iconic, I love that car, I wanted to try the Lancer because I remember driving this thing, and I remember loving this thing as much as the Focus. Between Subaru and Mitsubishi, I personally feel like I was always more of a Mitsubishi guy. I just prefer the Lancer. I felt like as an adult I can rationalize it in the Lancer, built cheap but was designed to be a track weapon, whereas the Subaru was a little bit more sophisticated, a bit more unique. Everyone liked it because of its engine, but the Lancer to me had a bit more heart to it. Probably a hot take in the rally scene, but that's just genuinely how I feel about it. But I mean, maybe I'm just misremembering, but I swear you could race this stage in the rain. And I remember seeing, I just so vividly remember driving that MGZS on the stage. Or maybe it was 2 stages after this, but I also remember you went past a lumber mill or maybe a paper mill. I mean, technically they're the same thing. I mean, they're technically not, but they technically are there to produce the same end product at the end of the day, aren't they? But I need to play more of this stage or unlock these stages to just get to that point and remember that again. Because I remember this stage as well, very vividly, and driving that exact same car. So maybe it was just unique to that stage where it was just raining. Maybe there's just no custom weather. Maybe, I believe custom weather is a thing in Colin Mcrae Rally 04. But regardless, I'm going to have to download that and install that game and finally get around to playing it, because as I said literally 3 minutes ago, that seemed to be more complete. But again, this game still looks good. It's still so much fun to play if you can get your hands on it via many means that I will not be endorsing. Maybe a repack. I would absolutely recommend giving it a go. I don't think it's very much worthwhile playing if you're wanting a simulator or anything like that, but if you just want a fun arcade racer that can be picked up with a controller, I was literally using my old Xbox One controller, and it worked a treat. I was genuinely stunned at how well this game plays on a gamepad. I mean, of course, like, you don't need analog triggers to play this game, really. Like, there's a little bit of a nuance with the accelerator and the brake and everything like that, but it can be very easily done with just quick bursts of the handbrake or, you know, just gentle taps of the brake. So I feel like, hilariously, if anything, this game would probably like be great on a Nintendo Switch or something like that, because it's just a simple, fun arcade rally racer with a lot of variety, cool cars to drive that are all unique in their own way. But unfortunately, Cody's is now owned by the Saudis, and we are never getting anything other than maybe F1 or Battlefield ever again, which is a bit of a shame, because I would have loved to have gotten another rally game. And if anything, the Codemasters Dirt Rally games, or the Dirt series, got me back into racing games after a good couple of years away from them all. So it's a bit of a shame, because I did complete Dirt 4 and its achievements pretty recently. I was probably one of the last people to actually do it, because a lot of people didn't realise that when they shut down the servers for good, like RaceNet for good, that they had actually shut down the ability to get some of those last achievements. And I used that as an excuse to get back into that game and just enjoy it again, because it's very repetitious and quite grindy, but that core gameplay loop is unmatchable, and Cody's knew how to do rally games better than anyone else. What I will say is that KT Racing did a pretty good job with like WRC 10 and Generations and even 9. Like, I thought 9 was really good, but it didn't quite match that sort of pick up and play and just a little attention to detail that the Codemasters rally games did. And in a way, it's just really sad that, yeah, Codemasters aren't doing these games anymore, and long may they live through their ever-enduring legacy, because they're still fantastic games. And well, on that note, I really don't have much else to add. I'm going to leave you with the outro, but I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.